Franchises are built in rooms like this during the NFL draft, but the foundation for the Seahawks began 6 months before April 2012. General Manager John Schneider came back from a scouting trip to Wisconsin with visions of his future quarterback.
I remember in October, he came in, I met him in the hallway, and he's like, "Hey, Scott, I got to tell you about a guy, Russell Wilson. I just went and saw him."
He came back and he just said, "That was the best visit I've ever been on."
Guys, go!
I just remember thinking to myself that the quarterbacks all had green jerseys on. He must not be out here yet, but he was, you know, because he was a little bit taller than me, you know? So I was like, wow, he is not very tall.
I told him, "You mean to tell me you're interested in drafting a quarterback that's 5'10", when we won't take a corner that's under 5'10"?
Wilson, play action, throws right side, wide open, touchdown, Wisconsin.
Schneider studied the film but felt the Seahawks needed to see Wilson in a big game environment. His chance came in Indianapolis at the Big Ten championship game against Michigan State.
He had a great game. He had a two-point conversion that he threw that was unbelievable. Play action, just turned around, jumped up, and threw the tight end. It was awesome.
When you leave Indianapolis, do
Yeah.
you think we have to find a way to get this guy?
Yeah, because, yeah.
You had the same grade on Russell Wilson that you did on Andrew Luck.
No, on our board, no. Andrew Luck. We had a higher grade than Andrew Luck.
Okay? You, personally.
Same grade.
The only difference was this,
Right.
right? Maybe.
Bigger man, yeah.
Wilson and Schneider would have one final meeting in February at the NFL Combine, which began a game of cat and mouse between the general manager and quarterback.
I said, look, man, I think you're a heck of a player, but I just want to let you know you're not going to go in this draft where you should go.
John kind of interrupted everybody and said, "Listen, man, we're not going to be able to pick you. We just assigned another quarterback, but good luck in the future, and we'll see you down the road."
This guy is thinking that either I have no idea what I'm talking about or I am not the nicest guy in the world at all.
They started acting kind of shady, you know, so I was like, okay, maybe they're not interested anymore.
4 quarterbacks were selected in the first round. Russell Wilson was left waiting while the Seahawks selected defensive end Bruce Irvin.
There was 2 chunks, quarterbacks, really, and we knew that second group was going to start going pretty soon.
The first quarterback selected in the second round was Brock Osweiler, 57th to the Denver Broncos. The quarterback the Seahawks coveted was still waiting to be picked as the third round of the NFL draft opened. The Seahawks projected Wilson as a third-round selection, and Seattle held the 75th pick in the draft. John Schneider would have to wait 11 picks for his gamble to pay off.
He knew whether it was talking to agents or talking to other guys around the league, and he determined that it was somewhere in the third round. He's 5'10" quarterbacks. History's shown that they don't go very high.
There's probably about 10 teams or so that were trying to talk to me that second day, and I was still hoping the Seahawks was going to pick me.
6 picks remained before the Seahawks selection. The Seahawks were concerned with multiple teams in need of a quarterback. The Buffalo Bills were on the clock. Sweating Buffalo at all?
Yes, we were. That was one of the teams that we thought would take a chance at him.
I was cognizant of Buffalo. I knew that, you know, they had strong interest. I thought there was a chance they'd take him.
The Bills would select wide receiver T.J. Graham. And now, only 5 picks remain before Seattle's selection, and the Jaguars posed a potential threat to the Seahawks' plan.
You could just see John just getting anxious, thinking that somebody might feel the way about Russell like John did.
With quarterbacks Blaine Gabbert and Chad Henne on their roster, the Jaguars selected punter Brian Anger.
Definitely a really good punter. Happy Russell wasn't taken.
1 selection remained before the Seahawks pick. The nerves reached an all-time high with the Chiefs on the clock. Kansas City's turn on the ESPN feed. There's a shot of Russell Wilson actually on the phone.
That's right. That's right.
What do you remember about that?
And I thought they were picking him.
The Chiefs would select offensive tackle Donald Stevenson.
I remember him saying, I'm picking him. I don't care.
I couldn't wait to talk to him, get him on the phone.
Next thing I know, I get a phone call from a 425 area code, And I realized the Seattle Seahawks had just picked me.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
They said, Russ, you know, I just want to let you know you're coming to Seattle. I was just stoked.
I remember him telling me he was so excited, and he's like, this is the best decision you've ever made in your life.
You could see the smile come across John's face, and he kind of lit up a little bit like, we got our guy.
The Eagles, with 2 second-round picks, were gearing their draft around selecting Wilson in round 3. But after the Seahawks pick, then Eagles coach Andy Reid reached out to Seattle.
He called and was just like, hey, great pick. Love that kid. Took our guy. That always makes you feel better. Maybe he was just trying to make me feel better.
There are a lot of pundits out there that gave you guys Fs for whatever that's worth.
They didn't understand what we were doing, you know, and that's all right. The fact that it didn't meet somebody else's standards really didn't bother us a bit.
It was hard not to notice because he was out there. And we don't give a what they say. Isn't that awesome? Oh, it felt so good.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited, and hopefully we can win a Super Bowl.
We're going to look back on it, and we're going to talk about what a cool story it was.
We took some shots on guys that people wouldn't have. This could be the one that might stand out when you look back 10 years from now.